That's what we were just talking about.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about some things that are going on. LMA, you picked a book. Okay, what I'm going to let you do. What? Hi, Abigail?
Oh, can you separate both of them?
He said here first.
They're just every single thing I say, they're mocking me. They're like really.
I didn't mock you.
And since we're
What? The
all
other
three
one.
classes together, they were being really obnoxious and they're being disrespectful to the teachers.
Yeah.
Who's being obnoxious?
Both of them.
I'll stay in every class.
Okay, I don't want any problems, but you guys let it go. I'll handle it, okay? All right. Okay, so Ella, we're going to talk for a little bit. You, if you want to, at any point, you can pull out your book and start reading. Does that make sense? Because we're going to talk a lot about the research paper here. So if you want to, you can read in here. And if you want to go sit in the back so it's a little quieter, you can. All right? Or you can work on your book report. Either one. Either one you want, okay? All right. So let me get in here. Okay. So we're going to start talking about the research paper a little bit right now. So let me open that up. So okay, there's the book report. 19. Yeah. Okay. So research, okay, is investigation. You want to discover what others think about a specific topic. So, how many of you guys have a topic you guys think you can do your paper on? Okay, Wyatt, what are you thinking? Rubik's Cubes? Okay, do you have 2 books on that?
Not yet.
Not yet. Do you think you can get them?
Probably not, but I'll maybe look up books online.
So, I really want you to try to find a topic that, and Ella asked me why you need 2 books. Here's the reason. What we're really going to be learning how to do is citing the source of the material. And that doesn't make much sense to you right now, but basically when you put something in the paper, you're going to tell me where it came from. So I really want you to have at least 1 book. So try to see if you can find a book. We can do it with websites, but it's really better to learn how to do it with a book. All right. Wyatt, Nekla, do you have a topic?
No, not really.
You haven't thought of one yet? Okay, did you get one?
I wanted to ask you if I could do edible plants surviving,
Yes.
that kind of stuff.
Yes. Anything like that would be great, and you shouldn't have any trouble finding books on that.
I actually have 6 books on
That's perfect. You got 2 books at home, use them. Just use the books at home. You can use more than 2 books. Yeah.
Welding.
Welding would be great, and I bet you could find a book at the library on that too. So you let me know, Wyatt. I bet you can find a book on Amazon or something that maybe your mom could get that wasn't. See if you can find a book. We can do it if you can't, but it'll be better. Lottie, have you thought of a topic? Not yet? What are you into?
being scary.
Smarties. Smarties.
What about you, Eliza? Have you come up with a topic yet?
Can I do fictional? Does that have to be real or not?
It needs to be real, but what would be fictional? Like a book?
Yes.
So you could do a report on the book's author.
Okay.
So you could do that if you can find a book on them. And then you could actually use the novel and use the author as a book on the author. Okay, did you have a topic yet?
I might do systematic geology.
Oh, wow, that'll be deep. You got some good books on that. Okay. Liam, did you have one yet?
I'm thinking on Jeremy Morgan, but I'm not sure.
I think that could be good. There might be. I bet you they might have something in the library.
Yeah, I was thinking.
We might even have something like a pamphlet.
Yeah. You really want to try to find a book. Like I said, if you can't, talk to me and we can try to make it work without. But what I'm trying to teach you how to do is cite the sources for your paper. Yeah. You can. I don't want to do video games. I'm going to avoid video games because they're really hard to do. But Rubik's Cube and the history of the Rubik's Cube and all that could really be good. Ella, did you come up with a topic yet?
How point shoes got.
Okay. Do you think you can find a book on that?
I think I have.
I can research and everything about it, but I can try to find it.
We really want to try to find a book. She's got a couple of ballet books, and they might have something in there. And it's very interesting. It's a very interesting topic, actually. What about you, young lady?
I want to do one about how ballet started.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
That's okay. She can do the same thing. No problem. Hey, guys. It needs to stop. Okay? It needs to stop. All right. Now, here's what you need to understand about the research paper. So here's the first thing you're going to do, okay? Research is an investigation. You want to find out, and everybody should have a piece of paper that you can write these little notes down on. Okay, everybody have something you can write about. Okay? Let's see. So, the first thing you're going to do after you come up with what your topic is going to be is you're going to think of your thesis. Okay? So everybody write thesis down. Thesis. That is basically what your topic is. So Ella's would be how point shoes came to be, or how point shoes got their start, something like that. Yours, girls, would be the history of ballet, or the origin of ballet. Okay? You're coming up with a thesis about it. But and so that's basically what your topic is going to be. So that's another thing you need to be thinking about. So this week, your job is going to be to do this. To come up with a topic. So write that down. Number 1, come up with a topic. Number 2, find 2 books. And if you cannot find 2 books, let me know. But I really, really, really want you to have a book if you can.
So that systematic theology book is like this big.
You could do it with 1 book. See if you can come up with 1 more source. The reason is I'm teaching you how to tell me. So here's how the research paper is going to work, guys. I'm reading Abigail's ballet paper here, okay? Let's pretend this is her ballet paper. She's going to tell me in here, she's going to tell me something about ballet. Then she's going to tell me where she got that information from. Does everybody get that? And that's going to be on a works cited page. Okay? A works cited says, when Abigail says, I got it from the book called by the author Julian, I go, Julian, and I go back here and I go, oh, I see what the book is. Now, when you only have 1 or 2 books, it's not a very big deal. But what if you have a systematic theology book that has 8,000 books they use to write it? Okay?
Find the 2 with the biggest amount of information.
Well, yes, but in that case, right, you could end up with a works cited that has 500 books in it. You guys are going to learn with 2. Just 2 books or 2 sources. Does everybody kind of get that? So that's why you need a source. A research paper has information from other people. So you're gonna come to me with a topic, 2 books, and your thesis. But that's really your topic. So we can actually just say topic, thesis, and 2 books. And you're gonna bring those books to class next week. Now, if you totally cannot find a book and you want to use a website, I want you to come to class, everybody listening to this, with the information printed off and stapled. Do you get that?
So if we can't find the book?
If you only have 1 book, I want to say it again, I really, 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 really would like you to find 2 books. But if he's doing the Rubik's Cube and he can only find 1 book and his other source is a website, what I want you to do with that is to print off the pages on the website that you're going to use. You get that? Your parent can help you do that. So you go to the Rubik's Cube page that you're going to use, print it off. You could even do it with screenshots, but I want to see the pages that you're going to use. Does that make sense? The reason is that that's part of how I'm going to help you with citing your sources, is I want to see the content with that. So that's what you're going to come to class with, and that's what it says right here, February 12. Now I made 1 mistake because we have a spring break in here, so I'm going to have to figure that out. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but so everybody look at February 12 on this sheet you gave your parents. Students will come to class with their 2 books. Wendy will have note cards for them, and we will discuss, I will record this lecture so parents can watch again with their child if they need help, and you are going to work on your note cards at that point. Now, you guys don't know what that is yet, but I'm going to help you with it.
Watch Charlie Brown.
Okay, now, here's what I want you guys to understand, and this is super duper 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 important. And I'm gonna turn this so the people that are in there can watch me. When you take information from something else, so I'm gonna take information from this book on Helen Keller. I'm gonna write my paper on Helen Keller, okay? Can I just copy what's on the back of this book and put it in my paper?
Copyright.
It's copy. That's copying. It is stealing. Now, you guys are not stealing on purpose. Nobody's putting you in jail for this, okay? But it's actually stealing to do that. So what is it? What is it if you copy this, Wyatt? Stealing. You can't steal someone else's thoughts. Does everybody get that? Okay. So what do you have to do instead?
Put it in your own words.
You can do one of two things, and David just told us one of them. You can put it in your own words. What is the other thing you can do?
Put it in quotes.
Was that what you were going to say?
Yeah, or
Put it in quote marks. Now, here is the thing with quote marks you must know. Can you sort of change it around in quote marks? No. It must be exact. Absolutely exact. If you're going to do that. But even if you do this or this, what do you need to do in a research paper? This is a hard question.
Say this.
Jenny?
source it, or like tell them where you got it.
You got to tell us where you got it from. You got to tell us where you got it from. And that's what we're going to work on learning. So let's say, this is how it's going to go. Let's say I'm going to use these two books for that, which really wouldn't work because they don't go together. That's all right. Okay? This one is by Sorensen, and this one is by Davidson. Okay? So I take something from the Davidson book. What I do at the end of the sentence, so I write this whole sentence. At the end of the sentence, I go like this. Okay? What does that tell Eliza when she's reading my paper? Wyatt.
That's the guy who wrote it.
That this comes from which book?
The Davidson.
The Davidson book. Now, page 12. Good question. Now, once I have that, how do I know while I'm reading the paper what book that is?
Search it.
No.
They tell you
The back
what, they tell you what book or page it's on, and then you flip to that page.
Yes, but how would I know which book Davidson is? If I'm just reading your paper and it says Davidson.
The index in the back.
I got something at the end of the paper that tells me what Davidson's book is. And that's called your works cited. So at the end of the paper on its own sheet, write this down here, guys. You have something that says this, centered on the top of the paper. That is your works cited. And guess what's going to be on the works cited? A book by Davidson, okay, and a book by Sorensen. Now, it won't just say this. I'm going to teach you how to do this. You're going to actually go like this. You're going to go Davidson, Margaret. Then in italics, you're going to write, I'm going to try to do it in italics so it's all fancy, Helen Keller, right? And then it's going to have a date of publication and the page numbers, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So now, when I read Gideon's paper, and it says Davidson 12, and then on another line it says Sorensen, right? I know what books they used. So then if I'm reading the paper, I can go and go, oh, Davidson, Margaret, Helen Keller. Let me see if I have that book in the library. Oh, I do. It's on page 12. Oh, here it is. This is what he wrote. Now, again, this doesn't seem that important for a piddly little first research paper when you're in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. What are you learning it for? For future reference. For when you go to college and your professor says, which they will, I want a paper with 10 sources. Egads, right? You're going to be like, okay, I can do this. I did 2 in Wendy's first class. I did 3 in Miss McCoy's class. I did 4. I can do this. I can handle this. That's what you're learning how to do. Does anybody have any questions? Now, we're going to go over this step by step, so you don't have to understand all of it. But does this make sense to everyone? Why you're learning to do this? Okay. Now here's what we're going to do next week when you come to class. You're going to have some note cards, okay? And I'm going to bring them to class. And what you're going to do is you're going to go through your books and you're going to find interesting things that you think you might want to include in your paper. All right? And you're going to write the author's last name on the top of the paper. on the top of the card, and then you're going to write the thing. Now, the question, and you're going to also write the page number. So then you can go, oh, I had that really cool thing. Oh, yeah, it was from the Sorensen book, and here it is, okay? And then you're going to go, oh, it was on page 12. Now, how are you going to know if it was an exact quote or you wrote it in your own words?
They should include quotation marks.
Quotation marks. So you need to decide, okay, are you going to copy it exactly from here or are you going to write it in your own words? Now, I got a question for you. Let's say I'm reading this book from Helen Keller, and here's the sentence. Too soon, Helen jerked free. She threw the spoon at Annie. Okay, obviously we wouldn't write that down, but I write that on here and I put it in quotes. When I put it in my paper, can I rewrite it in my own words? Sure. Okay? You might want to just put everything in quotes right here, and then when you write the paper, put it in your own words. You can do that too. When you do the note cards, you want to put each cool item on its own card. Don't put 3 or 4 items on its own card. Why do you think that's the case?
So you don't get confused.
Okay, so you don't get confused.
Each card for one subject.
Each card for one thing you come up with that's cool. So you might only have one sentence on the card. Why wouldn't you put something from page 12 and then something else cool?
Because it would be sentence confusion.
Well, it could be confusion. Here's the other neat part. What you can do when you get ready to write your paper is lay your cards out. Okay? So you could actually lay your cards out on the carpet of your house and go, okay, how am I going to write this? Oh, I'm going to talk about this book. I'm going to use this point and this point and this point, and you can move them around and all that kind of stuff. But if they're on the same card, that's really hard to do. So when you come up with a cool thing, you're going to write it on one card. Okay? So what we are going to do for next week, Abigail's going to come to class with what, Abigail?
My books.
2 books. Bring them to class. Don't say they're sitting on my bed at home. Don't write them. Bring your book. Okay? If you choose to use a website, you're trying to find a book first. If you choose to use a website, I want you to have what the text is that you're going to use printed out. Okay? We're going to make it kind of like a book. And we're going to do it as a source, is what we're going to do. Because sometimes with websites, it gets very confusing. You don't know what page it's on, all this kind of crazy stuff. If you decide to use a website, bring it in, and we're going to make it like a book and do it like a book, but a book that obviously isn't in circulation. Does that make sense, Wyatt? Okay. You're going to bring that, and then what we're going to do in class on that day is I'm going to give you all note cards, and we're going to start talking about how to do your research. Okay, and how to put the paper together. One other thing you can do this week, because I'm not giving you a language arts assignment. Okay, what do you think? What do you think I want you to do instead?
Research thing.
But what do you think I want you to do with it?
Work on it.
I want you to read the stuff.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I want you to do. You don't have to start the note cards or anything yet. You could if you wanted, but start reading the stuff. Okay, put some little tabs on some pages that are really cool. Take some notes. Read a lot about it. Find your sources. That is your major homework this week, is to find your sources. Everybody got that? Okay, that's the major thing I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to quickly right now go over a little bit of some, one thing I wanted to mention. When you write a book in your paper, okay, how do you write the book name? In italics, right? This is my fancy italics right here. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, you write a book name in italics. What if you turned in your paper like Eliza did today, handwritten? How do you do italics when you handwrite?
You can also do cursive.
Well, yes, but that's not really italics, but you can write in cursive. So what do you do if you tell a book title handwritten?
Underline it.
Underline it. Is that what you were going to say? Good. Underline
Or
it.
you can try to write it.
No, don't try to write it in italics. I mean, you could try, but no, underline it. Underline the book title. All right? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is you guys are going to have, let's see. Okay, So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of time. Did you all bring a book to class that you can read? You didn't bring a book to class that you could read. You don't have one on
I
you.
mean, I have one, but it's
Okay.
Book.
Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some quiet time and look at your book reports and talk to you about it. So I don't mind if you're sitting very quietly, okay? But we need to kind of be quiet while I'm doing that, because I wanna turn your book reports back to you today to see if you need to do any more work on them.
I have one question.
Yes?
If there are quotes in the book that I want to use, like the book has quoted someone, what
If-
should I do for that?
Okay, so the book has quoted someone else. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So
Double quotation marks.
So what you do when a quote is inside a quote is you do this. It's kind of double. You do this to say I took this exactly, and then you do one quote is what you do. But let me see it in your book and I can help you with that.
Okay.
Okay, because that gets a little tricky, but I can help you with that. Okay, are there other questions? How are you guys enjoying start of World War II? What do you guys think?
There's like 2 history videos this week.
There's what? They're gonna come up every day. They're gonna come up more.
I know, but for the whole week last week, there's only like 2 videos that we had to watch. There aren't that many.
Was that true? I don't
It
remember
wasn't
that.
very much, but it was good.
There's
Huh?
like-
It was good.
You liking it? Are you girls liking the war a little bit? Fellas? Abigail said she doesn't mind it. What do you think, Lottie? You don't like the war. What do you think, Eliza?
I've never liked wars, but they're interesting.
Okay. And there's a lot of cool stuff that's happening in between them.
Dead.
Okay.
needs more shooting.
What do you guys think? Tell me what chapter you guys are on, those of you who are reading it in Roll of Thunder. What chapter are you guys on?
I don't know. I think I'm on chapter 9 or 10.
Okay, 9 or 10 I think is what we got through that week. What do you guys think of the book? I think it's really good.
I like
Yeah,
it.
it's good.
It's okay, not your favorite. What'd you think?
I like it.
Okay,
I like it.
yeah? Okay, all right, so I'm gonna look at your book reports, see if there's anything about them. Otherwise, you guys have some free time right now. I never give you guys free time. You got a little bit of free time today. So I don't mind if you talk or kind of hang out together, but you can't be crazy or mean to each other.
So we just stay here till.
Get your what? For what? No, we don't. No.
This is school.
You get to talk to each other. Yeah, or you can get a book. Okay. So that I went through that faster than I was thinking I would. So okay.
And I know some